A girl who weighed more than 150 kilograms confessed her love to a handsome guy, but she was denied. After that, she had plastic surgery and became a pop star. The transformation changed her whole entire life. She is Hannah, a super chubby and clumsy girl. She bowed to thanks after she watched the fortune-telling. Unexpectedly, her butt was so red that she spilled red ink on the psychic's face. She hurriedly wiped it away, but the more she wiped the redder it became. She could not help but laugh. When she picked up things, she accidentally broke the statue on the table. The boss cried inside. He was extremely angry. Hannah's part-time job is to provide telephone service to lonely people. An orthopedic doctor is a fan of her. Every day he talked to her for a long time. Her main job is being a singer. She has a wonderful voice. But because of her chubby appearance, she can only sing from behind the stage. All credits belong to the lip-sync singer on stage, Ami. Ami doesn't sing that well. Hannah has a crush on her manager for a long time. He is Sang-joon. While she felt extremely excited, with the legs that looked like
Sang-joon,
she danced with the cycle. Sang-joon immediately launched the fireworks. Ami immediately returned and settled everything. Hannah adjusted the state and continued singing. The problem resolved. Sang-joon knows that Ami only lip-syncs, only Hannah is talented. So when she appeared, he immediately patted her. This makes Hannah think he likes her too. Her best friend advised her to stop dreaming. That would not happen. She was once determined to lose weight by taking pills. But just on the first day, she fainted. The 3 male doctors were unable to lift her. She had to crawl into the hospital bed by herself. From that day she realized that weight loss and love were 2 things she did not dare to think about. But Hannah's feelings for June are enormous. She even brings home the water bottle that he held to collect. She took his sweater to sleep with. Every time June approached her, her heartbeat gone wild. June took her home. He invited her to a birthday party. This makes Hannah happy. She was given a red dress. When she put it on, her best friend was impressed. She shook her head and said nothing. Hannah looks like a chubby red worm. At the birthday party, Hannah sat next to Sang-joon. Nothing would have happened if she hadn't taken off her coat and made everyone dizzy. Sang-joon smokes a cigarette to calm down. It turned out that Ami gave her the dress. Ami deliberately embarrassed Hannah when the 2 of them were wearing the same dress. She wanted to regain Sang-joon's feelings. It was not good for 2 girls to confront each other like that. Sang-joon told Ami that she did not need to oppose Hannah. With that ugly look, she cannot be successful. And that he didn't like her, he was just using Hannah. Ami was touched. Hannah sits in the bathroom and hears everything. Hannah cried painfully. When she got home, she opened the gas cylinder. She wanted to commit suicide. Right then the orthopedic doctor called her. He was feeling lonely so he wanted to hear her voice. Hannah immediately went to find him. She threatened him that if he didn't give her free surgery, she would give the recording to his wife. The doctor was powerless. He could only operate on her immediately. The surgery will take 1 year. She freed the dog. She threw all the food. She went to the hospital and started surgery. Manager Sang-joon is extremely impatient. June walking forward, she immediately put her hat on her head. She left. She bought a used car and immediately took a test drive. Her smile was very beautiful. It looks like spring flowers. Unfortunately, she crashed into a car. He forced her to pay money. Unexpectedly, when Hannah stroked her hair, his heart was racing. He immediately changed his attitude. The police came. The police also said it was his uncle's fault. Hannah's beauty drives them crazy. But when he looked at her identity card, he was shocked. Her best friend who went to the police station to find her didn't recognize Hannah either. She mistakenly recognized the woman in the flower shirt as Hannah. It wasn't until she saw the double tattoo that she knew the beauty in front of her is Hannah, who disappeared a year ago. Hannah can't forget Sang-joon. With the encouragement of her best friend, she went to apply to become a singer. Even though her appearance has completely changed, that outstanding voice is still the same. But no one recognized Hannah. Hannah has a wonderful voice and a confident face. Not long after, Hannah officially debuted. Hannah's performance is not good. June tells her to follow the fat girl. Sang-joon said that the fat girl is very interesting. Hannah is very touched. Tears almost fell in her eyes. It turns out that after Hannah's disappearance, Sang-joon realizes that there are countless beautiful people but very few interesting ones. She was about to confess to June again, but her best friend advised her to be cautious. To men, girls who have had surgery are monsters. Men are like that. They said the surgery is okay, but in their hearts, they all despise orthopedic girls. Hannah did not dare to confess her feelings to June. Once, Hannah saw that her dog was adopted by June. She felt extremely familiar, so she hugged it in her arms. She was almost exposed. Seeing that Ami without singing talent is practicing very hard. My dad always thought that only God could do everything he wanted, Hannah said. There are things you cannot do, why are you still trying? This statement by Hannah made Ami realize that the beautiful Hannah in front of her was the fat girl before. Towards the show, Hannah received a phone call from the hospital. Her best friend committed suicide because she was heartbroken. Turns out her boyfriend said she was fat and broke up with her. Hannah had met that bastard in the elevator. She grabbed his hair and hit him. This one being fat is the same. If Sang-joon doesn't show up, the other guy will almost get beaten up. The show started. Sang-joon encouraged Hannah. Hannah suddenly felt her feelings. She has a magical energy source. A high note was heard. In a moment, the whole stage was noisy. After Hannah joined the company, the next day was her solo performance. News of her having plastic surgery spread. The boss was extremely angry. He threw water at her face. He asked to cancel the contract. He made her take nude photos to make up for the company losses. Sang-joon was furious. He angrily smashed the glass of water in front of his boss. June encouraged her. But when she saw her father cheer, she was moved. She said it all. She admits she used to be an ugly girl. She got plastic surgery. She had forgotten her friends and family and had forgotten how she looked before. This is not the outcome she wanted. Sang-joon played the video she sang before. The shipper who admired the girl cried loudly. Many viewers also felt sympathetic. Changing an ugly girl is not easy. Everyone forgave her. Hannah embraces her father. The boss's son set off fireworks. The show ends. Hannah uses her true identity to become a star. The movie was about a fat girl who wants to love. She can only get plastic surgery. When looks and talent can't coexist, which one would you choose?